Hi, and welcome back to Adventures by D. Today we bring you on another Stone Mountain Park adventure, and this one, Dave, is special because it's something we haven't been able to do in a few years. What do, Dave?
We take you inside the Stone Mountain Memorial Hall. It houses the history of the sculpture on the rock, as well as the history of the park itself.
And we got to eat some barbecue. So one of our most requested comments or items on our Stone Mountain Park videos is about the food. So you'll see in the video we ate at the barbecue place. What is the official name of it?
Campfire Smokehouse.
Dave looked that up before so we can remember the exact name. They do have a few eateries and that was one of them. We have a whole series of Stone Mountain Park videos, so please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're local to the Atlanta area. You can see Dave is repping his Atlanta Braves baseball gear. And we do theme parks and family-friendly adventures, and we cover a ton of stuff around Atlanta. So if you like this content, or if you want to see more in the series about Stone Mountain Park, which, by the way, is, what's the biggest stat about Stone Mountain Park, Dave?
It is the most visited tourist attraction in the whole state of Georgia.
Isn't that interesting? So with that, we're going to send you into the Memorial Hall where you can learn all about the carving's history. So join us on this
Stone Mountain Adventure.
We're going to try to go into the Stone Mountain Museum Memorial Hall, which in our last sets of videos we've done hasn't been open. So we're going to go in there and you can see the history behind the carvings. That's going to be a new thing we're going to cover. Welcome to Memorial Hall. Let's learn about the history of Stone Mountain Park. This is not open often, so we were happy to be able to come in here for this party if you get here before 5. And it smells like popcorn in here. So the viewing gallery for the carving. There's an auditorium. There's a video of the men who carved the mountain. How the carving came to be. Let's go check it out. Wow, look at this. Could you imagine building this scaffolding on off the mountain to do the carving? Wow. So this is now showing the men who carved the mountain in the war in Georgia.
Thursday, August 25, 1864, the onslaught stopped. Although rumors flashed about that Sherman was retreating, this was only wishful thinking. For Sherman was shifting his attention to the only railroads still in Southern hands, the Macon and Western and the Atlanta and West Point to the south of the city, the final link in the chain to shackle Atlanta. When Hood heard that the Union forces had cut the rails, he sent 2 corps to meet the troops at East Point and Jonesboro. The result was near catastrophe for the Confederacy. With the last railroad in Union hands, Hood knew the city could no longer be held, and on August 31, a new preparation was made: evacuation.
So here is the viewing gallery from inside this hall. And then you want to know who's on the mountain here? You can see my reflection too. So you have, from right to left, you have Stonewall Jackson, and then Robert E. Lee, oh, look at how big the carving is. Dave knows this fact, that a man can stand inside the horse's mouth. It's the size of a man or a woman. They stood inside the mouth during rain showers. And Robert E. Lee's head on this carving is 15 feet tall. So if you look here, so from right to left, you have Stonewall Jackson, Robert E. Lee, Oh wow. Hold on a second. And you have Jefferson Davis. He's going to be the other one. But here is a reproduced at its approximate size Robert E. Lee's head. It is 2 stories tall. Wow. And then let me come over here. So neat. They have part of the carving in here too. Look at this. And then here's the third one, Jefferson Davis. So you have Stonewall Jackson, Robert E. Lee, Jefferson Davis from right to left. And Jefferson Davis's horse was called Blackjack. How big is the carving? It's 160 feet wide and 76 feet tall. And it's saying, how does it compare? It's taller than Mount Rushmore. That's very interesting. This detail from the carving of Jefferson Davis's horse is reproduced at actual size. Look at this here. See his horse up there. Favorite photo spot during the carving was Jefferson Davis's horse. Here's one of the sculptors, Walter Hancock. Wow. Just standing in there. Crazy to see this in person. And then there's a whole series on the men who carved the mountain. We know. We'll have to do a whole video on this and the carving. Obviously very controversial with the whole carving and a lot of the park being about the Confederacy, but the art behind it and the scale and the danger, unbelievable. Here they are carving the face of General Robert E. Lee. I think in 1928 doing this. Would you be brave enough? I don't think so. Wow. It's on the whole carving. Look at that. The first sculptor was Gutzon Borglum. He was from Connecticut. He began planning the carving in 1916, but the actual work was delayed, and he returned to Stone Mountain in 1923 to carve the head of Lee. His relationship with sponsors disintegrated, and in a rage, he smashed his design models and left Stone Mountain in 1925. And he is the one who carved Mount Rushmore, which I'd known the guy who carved Stone Mountain carved Mount Rushmore, but he left Stone Mountain to carve Mount Rushmore. Wow. The Stone Mountain $50 in 1925. Look at that. Look at that model. I think in the early 1900s, planning this and executing it. Here's the carving wedges and shims they use. Hand tools. Wow. It's one of the models here. You can tell it ended up different, but. And if you like this, you have to go to the Atlanta History Center, because I have a cyclorama in there of the Civil War. That is unbelievable. Lukeman consulting with the chief carver. This was the design model for the carving. It's a casting of the original model. Look at this. So you have Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. And then just a soldier. Wild. It is so big. Lee's collar and stars, this detail from the carving, is reproduced to actual size. Like here's for scale. Here's my hand, which barely takes up part of a star. Wow. Completion 1970 and 1972. Oh my gosh. So I moved to Atlanta in the very late 90s. And so I've always known this carving to be completed. Refining the carving, Walter Hancock, was a male figure at the mountain's base. The state directed him to complete the carving based on Lukeman's design from the 1920s. So they just wanted to get it done. The state ended up taking over this. You can even see some of the architectural drawings there. The movie is off. You can't go in there to see the video on the men who carved the mountain. It's shut right now, so we can't do that. 60 years in the making. Wow, look at this, some of this equipment. So was that a sundial? Was that at the base at one point? What is this? Fountain of Time. Theodore Roszak designed and built this concept reference to pharaohs who envisioned a cosmic journey into space. So this proposal included an optional fountain and reflecting pool. There's another proposal that had lights. Another proposal with the carvings, a mosaic plaza. What might have been. So these are all the things that they might have put in front of the mountain. Wow. Unbelievable. This is so neat. And there's a second floor, so let's go see what's up. Discovering Stone Mountain. Your journey begins to the left. The Creek and Cherokee people called this place Dinetolokofi, the Bald Mountain. They used it as a buffer zone between their tribes. It was a meeting place. The Muskogee people settled in the region around Stone Mountain 900 AD. Wow. Their neighbors to the northwest were the Cherokees. The European explorers arrived in the 1500s, bringing a disease with them. President George Washington had to intervene in the 1790s. The Creeks and the Cherokees were forced to give up their land with the settlers. Creek and Americans met here June 9th, 1790. And this is the scene depicting that scene. Could you imagine? So the Creek leader went to New York City which was the capital at the time, and signed a treaty. So he met McGillivray and 23 other Creek leaders, and they signed a treaty which said the Creeks would cede a wide strip of eastern Georgia to white settlers. In return, the U.S. government promised that no whites would go into the land west of that boundary. In 1796, Benjamin Hawkins came to the area. Oh, the Trail of Tears. They marched the American Indians, Native Americans right out of here. Very sad. Robert E. Lee there, and I'm going to say Stonewall Jackson. The average farm was 200 acres. So there are legends about who bought the mountain. The Treaty of Indian Springs in 1821 opened up a settlement around the island, the mountain. Land grants of 200 acres each. There's no census records for any of the original landowners. Everyone worked on the farm. There's a dough bowl, cradle. In reality, most families near Stone Mountain furnish their homes modestly. How bold to come here and just remove everyone that lived before you, thinking you have a claim. So the Georgia Railroad made Stone Mountain in 1860 a major attraction. Tracks connect Stone Mountain to Atlanta. Here's in 1828 on the 4th of July. That's when people started really coming here for the 4th of July festivities. The Spirit of 76. Look at one of the train cars here. Wow. Hope we can get on the train today. We'll see what happens. ones. It's very popular. Oh, look at that. Look at all this. These weapons, Confederate swords, these pistols. Look at that. Confederate soldiers. Gray. This is John Mosby, known as the Gray Ghost. And here is Sergeant Joseph Dorr for the Union. Difference in their uniforms. Projectiles, swords, revolvers. Here's an 1858 revolver, a Star double trigger for the Union. Here's a surgeon. Here's a captain. Wow. You can see here, here's a piano. Colorful stories around this piano. It's said to have been taken by Union troops from the Lacey Hotel in Kennesaw, Georgia in June 1864. They can even make a good present for Sherman. The soldiers reportedly hauled the piano to Atlanta and stored it in the home of a Union sympathizer. Talking about a field office here in Ponce de Leon Avenue in Atlanta. Wow. The impact on the economy. Typical cost of flour, coffee, look at a bonnet, gloves, beer. Look at that. It's just overwhelming to see all this. And to know Christmas is out there waiting for us too. It's just so hard to take in. Oh my goodness. The drum. Drums could be heard. Playing cards, pamphlets. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here. Workers in the quarries and how it was done. Look at this. Is there a piece of Stone Mountain in your hometown? The Federal Reserve Bank, the steps of the U.S. Capitol, the Fort Knox, Tokyo, Cuba, U.S. Naval Base. Look at all that. This is William and Helen Plain. So this is a story of some letters and clothing between William and Helen. Letters from William. Love and war. So here we have a Confederate 75 cents, key on a string, a spoon, and a grape shot cannonball were in his pocket after his death. His horse was wounded. And she kept, the horse was sent home to her and she kept it for the rest of his life. Look at that. Lost letter before his death near Fredericksburg, Virginia in 1762. Smokehouse wife kit. Monogram on the placket of the undershirt to the right. So here we have Helen Plain. She was born to an affluent Southern family. She died in 1925 at the age of 96. So Dave, where are we going to go eat?
Couple options, either barbecue or cinnamon bread.
So they have a base camp cafe that has soups, salads, sandwiches, and Starbucks coffee here. And then there's a place where you can get barbecue. Campfire Smokehouse, which is I think where we're going because it's all Dave has talked about for 2 months. So
let's try the smokehouse.
Okay, let's check it out. So this Campfire Smokehouse has barbecue, pork, or chicken plates, barbecue nachos, pulled pork or chicken sandwiches, turkey legs, burgers and fries. They also have stuffed turkey leg, a holiday one. They have drinks, they have kids meals, and then you can do some a la carte sides here. So you can do baked beans, coleslaw, mac and cheese. Stuffed turkey leg with dressing and gravy. Stuffed turkey leg with mac and cheese and drizzled in barbecue sauce. I dare you to get it. Okay, so we ordered here. Dave got a barbecue pork plate for $13.39 and he added a coleslaw. And then I got a pork sandwich and I added a coleslaw and french fries because it looked like the sandwich just came alone. And we both got 2 drinks and that was $42.39. Okay, guys? So we're not cheap here, but hopefully it's good. We just have to wait for our number to pick it up from the window. Here we go. Hopefully you can hear us okay. There is music in the background in here. So this is a side of french fries that costs $4, guys. I'm gonna be honest with this. Like this is the size of my hand to give you an idea. This is a side of coleslaw. It costs $2.99.
Barbecue. This is the pork plate that was $13.39.
Where's the pork? It's under the sauce?
There's sauce,
okay.
Side of beans, and then Texas toast.
And then I didn't know mine came with beans because the sign just said pork sandwich. So it's a pork sandwich. So we love to eat a coleslaw on top of a pork sandwich. I don't know if you guys like that. Here's the pork. It's not sauced. Yeah, we paid for it. Here we go, right here. You can see 2 coleslaws. They're $2 each. The french fries were $3.49. So I just took the cup, which is basically the same size as the sauce or the beans, and I put it on the sandwich. So there you go. So that's how much coleslaw you get as a side here. Hopefully I didn't try. We'll see what it tastes like here in a second. Okay, so here is, I put some sauce on it. Here is the barbecue, you see the barbecue pork sandwich with I added slaw and it has the sauce on there. Mess. This is sweet barbecue sauce, it's good. It's good. It's just it's pork, it's not sauced or anything, so you're adding your sauce.
Yeah, having the beans with the, put some sweet barbecue sauce in there. It's good. You can eat here. The sides are pretty pricey for the portion. You know, if you have a family or come to Stone Mountain, I would say plan on eating really early or really late. If you have kids and you're gonna get sides and drinks, you can get beer here too. I don't know if I mentioned that. I didn't think you can get alcohol, but in this restaurant here at Stone Mountain, they had 9 or 10 different types of canned beer. Just beware, they card anybody under 200 years old.
We are done eating. That took 2 minutes. We ate it all up. It was fine. The sandwich was good. I mean, it was fine. It was just, it's expensive. So probably similar to theme park prices. But it was fine. I probably would sub, if I could do it, the beans for something else. But The baked beans were like, you know, a can of Bush's baked beans or something you get at home. So it was, you know, we were starving, and I just wish we could have gotten in here a lot sooner. So overall, I would get it again.
I would get it again, but it's like just like a theme park. You hit these places at the busiest times, you're gonna wait. So try to eat early or late. Food was fine. It wasn't like the best barbecue I ever had. Wasn't the worst. It's just like a theme park price, as Chris said.
What's nice about Stone Mountain is you can bring your own food and picnics, and you can sit on the lawn and other stuff like that. So
when the kids were baby,
no glass, no alcohol, but you could. We used to often make sandwiches at home or buy subs or bring other food in.
Or we'd go to Publix and get the fried chicken and sit in the playground and eat that while they played, and then come over to the Christmas activities. We did that 2 or 3 times when they were small.
Got freestyle machines. Dave was commenting on the decor. It's like campfire themed, camping themed. Up on the second level, there's tents and little fake fires going. You can see the theming here. But here's one over here. You can see it up there. It's cute.
All right, time to bundle up into the frozen tundra.
Wrap the night up.
Yeah. See what's left.
Dave just noticed we just came out the door here, and there's a ton of seating out here. We didn't even notice this. They don't have heaters though, so in the winter, I don't think I'd sit out here. But so we're wrapping up this video on Stone Mountain Park with the Memorial Hall and the barbecue eating, which was pretty good. So Dave, what were the impressions you walked away with Memorial Hall?
There's a lot of history in there, a lot of things to look at, and also you get a better understanding of the proportions of the carving.
And for me, one of the biggest takeaways was that the gentleman that started the carving of Stone Mountain Park on the rock, he actually went over to Mount Rushmore and did that one. So Stone Mountain was first. Now, it took 50 years for the Stone Mountain carving to be finished, which was really eye-opening for me, and I don't think it completed till the 1970s. But to know the history of it and the different changes along the way of what they wanted to do and what it turned into is interesting. We know it's controversial. We're just covering the actual carving piece of this. And the barbecue, Dave, what did you think?
Barbecue was good, very non-controversial. Pretty standard, but pretty good. A good option inside the park.
Biggest tourist attraction in Georgia is Stone Mountain Park, and it's one of the most popular series of videos on our channel. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing and following all of our content. We do cover Stone Mountain Park at all different times of the year. We went at Christmas to record this one, and we're going to show you all different times of the year, and we do things in and around Atlanta, and we do theme parks. So lots of family-friendly adventures. So please consider subscribing so you can join our adventure and become one of our adventurers and the A-team on Adventures by D.
That's right, Chris, and until our next adventure,
may the adventures be with you.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
Ringing a bell.
so you'll be notified of our next upload. And as always, may the adventures be with you.